There is a place in the United States that still gives many people chills just by hearing its name. An old hotel that stands majestically on a hill, looking beautiful from afar, yet hiding a dark story that is difficult to explain with logic. Many visitors come out of curiosity, but not a few leave with a lingering fear they cannot forget. The hotel is known as the Crescent Hotel in Arkansas, a historic building with a classic and elegant appearance. However, behind its beauty lies a past filled with mystery and tragedy. Many believe that this place is not just an ordinary hotel, but a location that holds an energy that cannot be explained. The horror stories surrounding this hotel did not appear out of nowhere. It all began with a man named Norman Baker, a figure known to be intelligent, but full of deceit. He came with grand promises that sounded like hope for many people struggling against deadly illnesses. In 1937, Norman Baker purchased the hotel and transformed it into a medical facility he called the Baker Cancer Hospital. He claimed to have a revolutionary treatment method, something that had never been discovered by the medical world at that time. These claims attracted the attention of many patients from various regions. They came with the hope of being cured from diseases that were considered difficult to treat. For many, this place became their last hope to survive. However, behind those promises of healing was a massive lie. The medicine given by Norman Baker had no clear scientific basis. In fact, some people began to realize that patients' conditions were actually getting worse after undergoing treatment. Even so, Baker continued his practice. He kept convincing patients and their families that the healing process required time. Meanwhile, the number of patients who died slowly began to increase without any reasonable explanation. Something even more horrifying happened after the patients died. Many of them were not returned to their families, but were secretly buried in the basement of the hotel. The place was used as an unauthorized makeshift morgue. The basement became a silent witness to many tragic events. Bodies that should have been properly buried were instead hidden away, as if all those deaths were meant to be erased from reality. Some people who had worked there began to grow suspicious of the activities inside the hotel. However, fear and pressure forced them to remain silent. Eventually, rumors about these illegal practices began to spread. The public started questioning the legitimacy of Baker's treatment methods. Many reports stated that patients did not receive proper care. Some families even demanded explanations for the deaths of their loved ones. Public pressure grew stronger, and authorities eventually stepped in to investigate the case. They discovered various pieces of evidence showing that Baker had committed a massive medical fraud. The investigation revealed shocking facts about how the hotel had been used as a place for experiments without any scientific basis. All the claims of healing that had been promoted were nothing more than lies designed for personal gain. In 1940, Norman Baker was finally arrested. His arrest marked the end of the horrifying practices that had been going on for several years. However, for many people, the wounds left behind could not simply disappear. Even though Baker was imprisoned, the story of the hotel never truly ended. Many believe that the energy from those tragic events still lingers within the building. As time passed, the hotel reopened as a place of accommodation. However, the atmosphere inside felt different. Many guests began reporting strange occurrences that could not be explained. Some visitors claimed to hear footsteps in empty hallways at night. Others felt as if they were being watched, even though no one was around them. Not a few guests reported seeing shadows moving in the corners of rooms. The figure would appear only for a moment, before vanishing without a trace. These experiences convinced many that the place was not entirely empty. Stories about the spirits of former patients wandering the hotel began to spread widely. Many believe they are victims of the cruel practices of the past, unable to find peace. Some hotel staff also claimed to experience similar events. They often felt sudden temperature changes or heard strange noises while working alone. The basement became one of the most avoided areas. Many say the place has a very heavy atmosphere, as if it holds something that does not want to be disturbed. There are stories of doors opening on their own without reason, and lights flickering even though there is no electrical issue. Small things like these only make the atmosphere more terrifying. Some people who dared to explore further claimed to feel an unseen presence. They felt as though something was following their every step. Even so, the hotel continues to attract tourists. Many come specifically to experience something different, trying to prove for themselves whether these stories are real. Some visitors consider it all to be mere suggestion. However, others return home with experiences that are difficult to explain, something that lingers in their minds even after they leave the place. The story of the Crescent Hotel continues to live on from generation to generation. Everyone has their own version of the story, but all point to one thing: the presence of something unusual, This place has become a symbol of how a dark past can leave a long-lasting mark. What happened decades ago still feels present today, as if time has never truly erased it. Many believe that energy from suffering and fear can attach itself to a place, and this hotel is considered one of the real examples of that. Whether all these stories are true or merely legends, no one can say for certain. But one thing is clear: the story of this place always manages to make anyone feel uneasy. Some guests who stayed there even claim to experience nightmares that felt incredibly real. In those dreams, they saw unfamiliar figures resembling patients from the past, slowly walking through hospital corridors. When they woke up, the fear did not immediately fade, as if the dream was more than just an ordinary one. There are also stories of guests hearing faint groans in the middle of the night. The sound resembled someone in pain, yet when they tried to find the source, no one was there. The silence made the sound feel even more haunting. Some people even reported seeing a figure resembling a doctor walking through the hotel. The figure wore old-fashioned clothing and seemed to be in a hurry, but disappeared as soon as approached. Many believe it is a remnant of the past, trapped in time. Another story comes from those who tried taking photos inside the hotel. In some images, strange shadows or faint shapes appeared that were not visible at the time the photo was taken. This further strengthened the belief that something unseen resides there. Despite the many terrifying experiences being reported, the hotel remains open to the public. In fact, these horror stories have become a unique attraction for tourists who enjoy mystical and adrenaline-filled experiences. In the end, the Crescent Hotel still stands as a place that holds two very different sides. On one hand, it appears beautiful and historic, but on the other, it is filled with dark stories that are hard to forget. And perhaps, forever, the mystery surrounding this place will never truly be revealed.